Hi guys, and welcome back to Full House Sports here with myself, Charlie. A reminder, if you like the content of the video, to please give it a like, and if you like the content of the channel, to please subscribe. Obviously, I'm trying to grow my base, trying to cover all sports, and give you guys the stuff that you like. So thank you very much for those that are already doing that and already watching. I appreciate everything. And yeah, like I say, thank you very much for the support. I appreciate it. And talking of a range of sports, like I say, I spoke about football, I spoke about boxing, but it is time to talk about athletics. And a man, I say a man, he's not really a man, he's a boy, he's 17. A boy who I'm hoping, I want everyone to win on their merits, but I think as a sports fan, I'm hoping can be the next superstar of the 100 metres, because we need to talk about Gout Gout. That is his name for people thinking I've repeated something twice or read something wrong. Gout Gout. For those that don't know, he is a social media prodigy, really, of athletics. His clips have been doing the rounds for years and years. He's the son of Sudanese immigrants, but he represents Australia. He's 17 years old. And like I say, obviously I like that you guys are viewing the videos, but if you are viewing it on YouTube, quickly go in your search bar and search him up. That's Gout, Gout, Gout Gout. For me, I think he's the next superstar of athletics. He's so marketable in terms of the name, in terms of the fact that he's a teenage sensation. As a football fan, I really remember when Mbappe burst on the scene and everyone was talking about this kid's this old, and they were doing age comparisons and saying, oh, when he was 7, so-and-so was already playing for this club, and just to sort of show the level of prodigy that we were dealing with. And Gout Gout is athletics and sprinting's answer to that. He's 17. He already holds his area record, the Oceania record for the 200 metres. And he's going to his first Senior World Championships in Tokyo on Saturday in the 100 metres. The 100 metres is going to be so good at these championships. We've seen it before. I grew up in the era of Usain Bolt. And yes, Usain Bolt was fantastic for athletics. It was an era of domination. I know he had his challenges, but he was so good, it was greatness in the flesh. And we were watching him, not always to see if anyone could beat him, but also to see if he could beat the clock. This championships, it's not like that. You've got a really close, competitive field. You've got, of course, Gout Gout. I'm going to talk a bit more about, let's say, teenage sensation, 17, represents Australia. I know I've been reading this week and seeing a lot of Australian eyes are going to be on these World Championships because of him. Everyone wants to see what's he going to be like in his first senior championship. Again, I keep reiterating this because it's so important. He's 17. He is really a kid. In the UK here, he's still in education. He's at sixth form. His first year of sixth form is at college. And he's going to be competing against guys like Noah Lyles, who hasn't had the best of years, it must be said. I watched him in August race in Switzerland, and he was obliterated really by Bleak Seville, one of the Jamaican athletes. He looks to be a little bit back on track. He won against Letsili Tobago at the Diamond League finals in the 200 metres. There's a sense, I think, around athletics that he may have geared his season towards this championships. If that's the case, you can never write him off. He's a big race player. He turns up when it matters. We saw that in Budapest in 2023 at the World Championships. We obviously saw it in Paris last year when, all throughout the build-up to the final, even on the night, it was, I don't think he's looking great, and then he snatches it in the last minute with that dip. You've also got the two Jamaicans there. Like I said, the aforementioned Oblique Seville, who ran 9.77 the other week in Switzerland against Noah Lyles. I went to say in August, twice there. He ran 9.77. That's rapid, and the conditions in that race were not ideal either. So he's really got a chance. I think there's a sense, a feeling around Seville that he's maybe a guy who doesn't always turn up at the major championships, that he's fantastic on the Diamond League circuit where, there's always pressure, but where the pressure's not as severe. And then when it comes to the big race, he's not always fully putting in his best performances. He's not putting it all together, so to speak. And then you've got Kishane Thompson, who, for those of us that remember from Paris, had his heart broken, lost it on the dip in the final. He was marked in. He will have had to live every day, every morning, waking up knowing that really he lost the Olympic gold medal because his technique was off at the end. If he'd have dipped, he'd have arguably won the race. and Lyles dipped and snatched it from him. I think it was something ridiculous like 0.01 or 0.001 of a second. He's had to live with that every single day. And there's a part of me from a sporting point of view that I don't think it will be able to replace that. But I do hope he does do well, because it would be, I guess, a sense of fulfillment and a full circle moment. I'd like to see him win the gold for that. But as you can see and as I can tell, I'm so excited about Gout Gout. I think he's potentially what the 100 metres needs at the moment, the sprinting needs in general. Yes, Noah Lyles has maybe got that crossover power, but he hasn't fully got it. He's not a Usain Bolt who is, he crossed over into everything in the mainstream. He was so massive. Certainly here in the UK, everyone knew who Bolt was. And I think around the world, that was the case. Wherever he went, he attracted such big crowds. And I think Gout Gout, the name does it, doesn't it? So good they named him twice. That's what they used to sing about Eric Jemba Jemba, wasn't it? I think he'll probably be a bit better at athletics than Jemba Jemba was at Man United. That's a mad comparison. But the marketing's there. You can see a Nike or an Adidas or a Puma just picking up on him and taking him on. Gout's one letter off Goat. I'm writing the branding for them. Nike, Adidas, give me a job, please. But it is exciting. I don't think he'll win the gold. I don't think he'll win the gold now because, like I say, Lyles, Thompson, Seville, and others as well. Zarnell Hughes deserves a mention. As a Brit, I need to put some respect on his name. He's really been a consistent feature of world sprinting. And I'd like to see him figure in the medals from a patriotic point of view. I just think maybe his time has, I don't want to say been and gone, that sounds so harsh. But I do feel like maybe his time is sort of his window of opportunity's gone. But yeah, all eyes for me should be on Gout Gout. He has got that star crossover potential. He's got a smile as well that's $1 million. You can see it on branding. And I'd love him to be the next crossover star of athletics. It'll be interesting. The final's at 2:20 on Sunday afternoon, so that'll be a lovely 10-second break from the football for anyone who wants to watch it. It's on the BBC. I think it's going to be a fantastic race. Let's not forget, the final last year in the Paris Olympics was the quickest final in the 100 metres history in terms of how closely packed together they were and how quick they all ran together. This has got potential. It's such a competitive field at the moment in sprinting. And that, for me, is when sport is at its best, when you do not know who's going to win it, when it could be anyone. But like I say, Gout Gout, remember the name.